Trying to mend the pieces of your broken heart. Want to make a change but don't know where to start. Let's go on a journey trying something new. Let's go on the road to finding you. The art spot with Iyanla. Talking relationships, getting down to the thick of it. The art spot with Iyanla.
Welcome to the R Spot, the relationship zone, the place we come to examine and explore the issues, challenges, benefits, and rewards of relationships, all kinds of relationships. It is my intention that we all get more comfortable talking about and looking at how we approach and address relationship issues so that we can all learn to be better and do better in the relationships that matter to us. Now, our topic this week is one that I think quite a few people might be interested in, considering the number of letters I have received. This topic also seems to be of interest to both men and women. It's about loving after 50. What do you do? How do you do it? And why it's important to do it. And by it, I mean create loving relationships, loving, fulfilling, intimate relationships. Now, you don't have to be 50 to get something out of this topic. But if you have a mom or an auntie or an OG dad or uncle, you might pick up some tips that you can share with them or encourage them to come and watch this episode for themselves. Because loving after 50, well, I'm just talking to myself. Since I just recently ended a 14-year relationship with a wonderful man. This topic bumps right up against another topic I want to discuss at a later date, and that's how you recover when a long-term relationship ends, no matter how old you are. Now, that can be a huge challenge. But today, I want to talk to the geezers and the squeezers, the old G's and the grace queens, all of you folks out there who may think that because you qualify for AARP membership that you can't find love anywhere. You, my beloveds, are mistaken. Now, I know we live in a society that places a premium on youth, but that doesn't mean because you are not 25, you must be put out to pasture. If your pieces and parts still work, if you have a urge for companionship, if your heart is open to loving and being loved, do not give up hope just because you're 50, 55, or even 60 or 65. They say that 60 is the new 40, which means if you want it, you can get it. At 50-ish and beyond, women find themselves healthier, sexier, friskier, and more independent. They're finding themselves open to more possibilities of finding love. And as men who are 50 and over are going back to the gym and giving up unhealthy lifestyles and developing greater dominion over their bodies and their minds, love is in the air. I mean, have you been on Match.com lately? Let me tell you, there is some delicious eye candy out there that may have some hidden sweetness in store for you if you are over 50. But let's face it, after 50, the rules are a little different. Not much, but there are a few things you want to consider. Things like, do you want to date older or younger? After 50, this takes on an entirely different meaning than it does at 30. Now, I don't know why, but lately I have become a young man magnet. I'm talking young like 40. Now, I have a personal rule. I won't date anyone younger than my son, and he's just a tad bit over 45, but that may not matter to you. But if it does, get clear before you start looking. If you want a rump and frolic, go young. And if you want to rock and swoon, clarify the age range of acceptable potentials. Now, ladies, this one is for you. After 50, things have a tendency to happen to the body. You know, things may fall down and never rise up again. Things may continue to jiggle even after you stop moving. And things turn gray. They just do. So you may be a little shy about exposing them or sharing them, the things that have fallen or jiggled or things that are missing or the great things. So here's the key. Make sure you have an inner glow. Make sure you feel good about yourself, that you're taking good care of you. Make sure that you are comfortable with you. And trust me, if you meet someone who's interested, your inner glow will overshadow all of the outer issues and challenges. Now, both men and women, if you're over 50, consider dating just to date. Go out, have fun. Don't think that everybody you meet has to be the one for the rest of your life. Why? Because when people reach a certain age, they can be rather set in their ways. So rather than get yourself all revved up just to be disappointed or turned off, make a habit of dating just to date with no expectations. Look, children do it all the time. It's called play dates. Then if things don't work out, if you don't like each other, you can go on. And if you do like each other, well, that's a bonus. Now, even in the 50 and up group, there is still an issue of character and integrity, which means cheating and dishonesty may be an issue. So people, you must do your due diligence and know who you are with before you move them into your condo. Moving people in and getting them out is one thing when you're 30. It's an entirely different story when you are 50 and over. Remember, date just to date, to have fun, to keep company. Don't be so eager to be hooked up that you don't know the right questions to ask, or you don't make the right phone calls, and you're not paying close attention to all of the signs. And should the 50 plus folks follow the 90-day rule? Absolutely. Absolutely. No nookie for 90 days. Do not give yourself to someone unworthy of your preciousness or the fruits of your living and learning. People cheat and lie after 50 just like they do at 30. But it's one thing to be made a fool of when you're 30. It's another thing to feel like an old fool. So keep your cookies on lockdown until you know this is who and what you want. Ladies, since you don't know if you want this new person in your life forever, don't lend them money. I don't know why so many women over 50 are willing to lend a man over 50 money to help him pursue his dream or solve a problem. If he needs money to get where he's going, chances are he will never be able to take you anywhere with him. And gentlemen, I know the younger ladies make you feel more manly and desired. But if she has her hand out, shake it. Don't put your ducats in it unless you want to be a sugar daddy. Now, if that's your desire, go for it. But if you want a lasting, committed relationship, companionship on a long-term basis, if you want to be there and have someone there with you and for you as you progress through your 50s and 60s, paying her may not be the way to get what you want. Now, I've made a lot of mistakes when it comes to relationship, but there is an area that I've always been very clear about. I don't lend, I don't borrow, and I don't give until the commitment is clear and established. Now, when you're over 50 wanting love, don't buy it. And when you're over 50 looking for love, and when you have means, and when you are established, both men and women, be mindful. Now, in my mind, this applies to all age groups. But once you're over 50, moving closer to a fixed income, and every penny and every dollar takes on a new meaning, you got to be real careful. See, after 50, there can be an entirely new set of issues and challenges that impact your ability and willingness to create, attract, and sustain loving relationships. Things like arthritis. You may not be able to get your leg up over there, okay, anymore. Things like ED. Mr. Bob may be asleep and he refuses to wake up no matter how young the person is who is tempting him. You know, things like dryness of certain parts or a lack of desire for sexual activity. While there's still a deep desire for connection and companionship, You may not be able to do the things you once did. You know, things like the impact of certain medications or the need for certain medications. Listen, loving after 50 has a specific set of challenges, but they need not preclude you from looking for and finding love. You know, what interests do you share? What are the activities that you can both enjoy? You don't need a babysitter, so do you want to travel? What can you teach each other? After 50, there are so many fun, relaxing, and exciting ways to create intimacy and connection that will make sex the icing, not the cake. And you know what? Plain cake can be very satisfying and tasty. And when there are challenges in the bedroom, talk about them. Explore solutions that you may have never considered. Women today, women over 50 are so much wiser and more understanding. Men, don't be afraid to ask, to talk, to offer. Ladies, the men you're meeting may not have practiced good self-care, and they'll start to suffer for that after 50. But consider not kicking him to the curb just because of a few deficits. Does he treat you well? Does he give you good gifts? Do you enjoy his company? There are many, many companies that offer battery-operated sexual support. So whatever may not be working can be replaced with a substitute. I mean, Candy Burris built an entire business on that premise called Candy Coated Nights. Go look her up. And don't be afraid to try something new when you're over 50. So, what are the rules? Be clear about what you want. Intention, age, race, and outcome. Be clear. Date just to date with no expectations. And please practice the 90-day rule. And after the 90 days, still practice safe sex. Explore new interests, new ideas, and new ways to create intimacy without sex. And talk about your fears and challenges so that you have a clear understanding of what you are getting into. Ladies, don't lend or borrow money. In other words, don't buy love. That behavior leads to entanglements. And no matter what age you are, when it comes to relationships, tell the absolute truth, the rot gut truth about who you are, what you want, what is and is not possible. Loving after 50 can be intimidating and scary, especially if you've been in a long-term relationship or no relationship for a long time. You must reintroduce yourself to the dating scene. You must heal and grow from your past experiences and relationships. You must learn how to balance family and career so that you have room for new love in your life. What do you wear on that first date after a long time of wearing sweats and jeans after work? How seductive is too seductive? And what is age appropriate once you pass 50? How do you determine what love looks like and feels like after the kids are gone and after you're set in your ways and ideas? And most important, how do you gain or regain confidence in your desirability, attractiveness, and suitability to attract a partner? It's all doable, and it can be fun. Loving after 50 really means being clear about who you are and what you want without the pressure of having to have it now. So here's my final tip on the matter. I discovered that the more comfortable and joyful I am about being with myself, keeping my own company, discovering and doing things that bring me joy, the more attractive I've become to others. And like I said, I have become a young man magnet. Go figure. And I hope this helps somebody out there.
The art spot.
Here is our question for today. Iyanla, when you consistently ask for what you want and consistently don't get it, is that a clear sign that the person you're with is the wrong person? Great question. Thank you, beloved. I am aware that this is a common challenge in many relationships. A non-responsive partner who either cannot or will not respond to your needs or your requests. And here's what I know about that. It is not loving to ask or expect someone to do something they cannot or will not do. It is not loving to them, and it is not loving for you. All relationships require give and take, giving and receiving. And if you're always giving and hardly ever receiving, you must ask yourself, why is this okay for me? What am I thinking or believing that has allowed me to think that I must settle for less than I desire or deserve? Now, once you get clear about that, you can create a choice to stay and accept less, or a choice to pursue and experience what really matters to you. Here's the challenge. Once you teach and train someone that it's okay to ignore, dismiss, diminish, or deny you, chances are they will not understand when you make another choice, and that's fine. Their understanding is not required. The only thing that matters is your determination of how important it is for you to be honored, supported, and respected by your partner. Now, once you determine that, you will know exactly what to do. And beloved, I would invite you to start here. How do I ignore, diminish, devalue, dishonor, and dismiss myself? Because this is not about your partner. This is all about you and your relationship with yourself.
The R Spot.
Now, here's our hallelujah truth for today. When something awful or painful happens, it's like everything else stops. It's like we forget to pee and eat or be thirsty, but that's not really true. The truth is we get focused on the terrible awfuls we experience because somewhere deep inside we don't expect that things can or will get better. Rather than hope for the good and risk being disappointed, the ego says it's safer to remain stuck in the pain, and we will stay there until we learn to trust that we can move forward. Now, for all of you who are new to the R Spot, welcome. I hope you will hear or find something that supports you in growing in and through all of your relationships. So I invite you to subscribe to the Iyanla Vanzant YouTube channel so we can keep you informed each time a new episode is posted. And be sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Also, please join the R Spot Facebook community where you can share your thoughts, ideas, lessons, and ask questions about relationship. That community is growing, and I encourage you to join. We have some exciting new topics coming up, and I don't want you to miss any of them. Also, you may want to sign up for my mailing list and be notified about all of the new and exciting free stuff we have coming up in the next few weeks. Until next time.
Trying to mend the pieces of your broken heart. Want to make a change.
There's this. That's what I was like behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
and
logo.
this will come up in a second too, which we'll have maybe. Let's see. He's got a pretty long intro, so you'll have this for probably at least 30 seconds.